They're currently undefeated and ranked number 1 in the country. Through the first month of the season, they have the highest betting odds to win the national championship. They also have the highest odds to reach the college football playoff. Despite all of that, there is a lot of concern with the Georgia Bulldogs at the moment. They have yet to lose a game in 2023, but the back-to-back national champions haven't looked great at any point this year. Are they just a little rusty, or is this a team that is truly not a championship caliber squad? Before we get to today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel, so make sure to subscribe to join one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. I'm posting videos every day during the season, so make sure to subscribe if you call yourself a college football fan. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. It's only been a 5-game sample size, but let's compare their offense to last year's offense. The Bulldogs are averaging 481 yards a game and 38 points a game. Last season, they averaged 501 yards and 41 points. So the offense is down just a little, but not by a whole lot. They're still near the top of a lot of offensive categories. Let's now flip things over to the defensive side of things. Last season, Georgia allowed only 292 yards a game and 13 points per contest, the second best mark in all of college football. This season, Georgia's allowing 287 yards a game, 5 yards fewer than last year, and they're also allowing only 13 points a contest. So once again, nearly identical numbers to last year. So why does it feel like they've been so bad? Well, although the numbers look great, we have to take a dive into their schedule. Through 5 games, only 2 of them have come against actual competition. They handled UT Martin with ease as they defeated them 48-7. Then they crushed Ball State 45-3. It wasn't until week 3 when they had their first true test as they hosted South Carolina. The Bulldogs were actually on upset watch in that game as they trailed 14-3 at the half and were outplayed on both sides of the ball. But they managed to turn things around in the second half and ultimately won the game by 10 points. Still, this was a game in which they were favored to win by 27 points and they struggled big time. Georgia then faced UAB the following week where they were a 40-point favorite. Although they weren't on upset watch, they were allowing the Blazers to kind of hang in there. At the half, Georgia only had a 14-point lead. Again, still 2 scores, but they should have had a 4-score lead at that point. They weren't really able to put them away in the first half at all. Ultimately, they won the game by 28 points, but that's back-to-back weeks where the Bulldogs weren't even close to covering the game. Things would surely change the following week, right? They went on the road to face an Auburn team that they were favored to beat by 14 points. This would probably be their best opponent of the season up until this point, but we'd probably get to see Georgia finally look like themselves. Well, that didn't happen at all. Once again, Georgia was on upset watch. At the end of the first quarter, Auburn was up 10-0. Once again, the Bulldogs got off to a sluggish start. They tied things up at the half, but they were neck and neck with the team they were supposed to be cruising over. Both teams went back and forth in the second half. Auburn took a 7-point lead, but Georgia tied things up and took a 3-point lead. With 6 minutes left in the game, Auburn kicked a field goal to tie things up. With just a few minutes remaining, Georgia was on the verge of losing their first game of the season as a 14-point favorite. With less than 3 minutes to go, Brock Bowers delivered the season-saving 40-yard touchdown, putting the Bulldogs ahead by 7. Auburn had a final chance to drive down the field, and they got it to the 50-yard line, but an interception sealed the game, and Georgia managed to escape by a touchdown. Before I get to the rest of today's video, I'd like to share with you guys how you can win money during the college football season. I've partnered with Underdog Fantasy to bring you this amazing deal. If you download the Underdog app and use promo code Harris, they'll match your first deposit up to $500. Yep, they're giving you up to $500 of free money. I've had a lot of success recently with college football and the NFL, and you can do the exact same with Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Harris for a 100% deposit match up to $500. This offer is only good until October 5th, so make sure to sign up quickly. You can also sign up using the link in my description as well. So, the Bulldogs are 5-0 on the season, but they haven't looked like themselves at any point. They haven't looked great over a somewhat competitive team at all. They've trailed in each of those 2 games and have needed a lot to go their way to pull out the win. We saw them do that against Missouri last season, but overall during this run of dominance, we haven't seen this team struggle quite like this. There was an article on ESPN that called out why Georgia may be struggling so much. Here's what they wrote: slow starts and no big plays. Big plays create easy points, and Georgia ranks just 81st in marginal explosiveness, 107th in rushing, and 71st in passing. Combine that with some dreadful starts. Despite a soft schedule, the Dogs' first quarter scoring margin is 0 per game, the worst of any team in the AP Top 20, and you've got a team that has to work for quite a long time to get up on opponents as they should. After reading this, I had to do a double take because that actually seems pretty crazy. Through 5 games, their first quarter margin is dead even. Against their best opponents, it's been even worse. They have a -14 first quarter deficit against South Carolina and Auburn, and somehow only a +14 in the other 3 games, and that seems insane to believe. All 3 of those games against those easy teams should have been +14 in each first quarter. When they played Ball State, they were actually tied at 0 when they ended the first quarter, and I have no idea how that's even possible. Personally, I haven't watched every snap of every Georgia game. I've tuned into every game, but only for stretches here and there, so I couldn't tell you what their number 1 issue is. Mike Griffith from Dog Nation had a great article recently where he shared his 3 burning issues with his current Georgia team, and here's what he had to say. His first issue is a sputtering run game. Stetson Bennett said it best at the college football playoff celebration: it's the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and the O's, and this is where injuries have hit hard. Kendall Milton played 5 snaps, working his way back from a sprained knee by helping in pass protection against Auburn. Milton was projected to be the bell cow back, and once healthy, has the upside to carry the run game. But until then, it's up to Dejan Edwards to churn out the blue-collar yards and get what's there. While converted receiver Dylan Bell has flashed some explosive running ability and is learning more of the running back playbook each week. The offensive line has not been as dominant as expected, but it has been and will be adequate, likely to improve as the season progresses. His next issue is the quarterback and offensive coordinator. The easiest second guess in sports and the lowest hanging fruit on the tree, it's easy for anyone to say a different play should have been called or call for a new quarterback. Fact is, offensive coordinator Mike Bobo has dialed up the number 7 third down conversion rate in the country, despite injuries at receiver and running back, and working with first-year starting quarterback. Beck is 28th in the nation with a 162 pass efficiency rating, but more importantly, has answered the bell when challenged to rally the offense from double digits down. If Georgia makes a quarterback change this season, and there's no indication that there are any plans to do so at the moment, it likely won't be because of Beck's performance. Rather, Smart has shown he'll make a quarterback change to generate a different kind of offense with a mobile quarterback based on supporting personnel or lack thereof. In short, Bobo and Beck aren't the problem so much as it remains unknown if they can present enough answers should the offense have to carry the team amid a defensive drop-off. His final reason is the defensive front issue. It's real, and while Glenn Schumann can dial up pressure packages to compensate in the pass rush, the Bulldogs got what they got with run defense. Georgia yielded more than 200 yards rushing for the first time since 2018, a string of 65 games. Georgia has lost 5 first-round NFL draft picks off its defensive line over the past 2 years, and the returning veterans aren't as good as those they replaced, and the young talent has been slow to step up. It's a chatty and fun D-line group, but the production has yet to match the talk as a powerful Kentucky run game coming to Athens. Well, that certainly explains a little better from an outsider trying to get an understanding of what's going on with this program. When taking a look at Georgia's remaining schedule, things are only going to get more difficult for them. They do host number 20 Kentucky this weekend, where they're a 14-point favorite once again, and I'm expecting that to be another close game for the Bulldogs. They also have a stretch of 3 straight ranked matchups against Missouri, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. Yeah, that's one of the more difficult slates out there. We'll have a lot more answers with this Georgia team in the coming weeks, but for now, they're still undefeated and the national championship favorite. So what are your thoughts on this Georgia Bulldogs team? Do you think they're a legitimate national championship contender? Do you think they deserve to be ranked number 1 in the country? Or do you think they're going to drop a game or 2 and fall out of the playoff discussion entirely? Whatever your thoughts are on this team, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos every day during the season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.